Yes, thank you very much. Welcome back to the studio at half-time. Manchester City 3, Salford City 0. 8 minutes it took for the opener. That man, Jeremy Doku, the iconic celebrations back. A Grealish assist as well, Paul. Perfect start for the Blues.
It was a great start. Look, we expect Man City a team from League Two coming in Salford to dominate them, but as me and Pete said at the start, it's all about attitude and mentality, and they were on the front foot from the very start. Really sharp, with and without the ball, and Jeremy Doku, fantastic finish, great little ball from Jack, but Jeremy's been outstanding this half. The Salford defence, I think they're unscrewing him out the ground.
Yeah, we did focus on the wingers in the pre-match show, and we were right to, because Jeremy Doku's had an amazing first half there. I mean, the poor fullback.
Outstanding. The wing back, Mogna. He's had a tough time game. Doku's been different class, strength, technical ability, and his first goal, the finish was absolutely outstanding. Great way to pass him. Grealish, great finish. I'm very, very impressive.
Yeah, extremely impressive indeed. Just like the centre forward Mubama, who scored his first goal for Manchester City today. We're talking about strength. We're talking about old-fashioned centre forwards, Paul, and I mean, he's really done himself no harm whatsoever, and he got himself on the score sheet as well.
He did, and deservedly so as well. He's been outstanding. Technically, he's obviously very good, or he wouldn't be coming through the academy here. But his movement off the ball has been fantastic. Curtis Tillot's an experienced pro, strong lad, and he's given him the run around a little bit. He's coming in short to go in behind. He's dropping off to come and get it short. He's holding the ball up. He's getting it, but he's always moving, Peter. As soon as he loses the ball off, he's on the move all the time.
I think after 10 minutes, I said to you, I love his movement. Yeah. Coming in, spinning in behind, getting on the shoulders. Defenders hate that. Defenders hate movements. If you're on the shoulders, you're going across people, going in behind. Brilliant. And his hold-up play. Look, I've been very, very impressed. Paul mentioned it before, attitude.
Yeah.
They've gone out there today, Manchester City, and been brilliant. To a man, right on the front, with and without the ball. Outstanding.
I think his goal as well, people say it's a tap-in, but he's anticipated that, and that's what all great centre forwards, number 9s do. Sometimes the little tap-ins, they're the best ones, because you're the one you're a step ahead of the centre.
On the move in the box.
Yeah, all the time he is, and he's been super impressive, considering it's not just his first start.
Yeah, his first start, and he's only had 8 senior appearances before today, but you wouldn't be able to tell. He was really strong in the air as well. He was winning a lot of aerial duels as well. I mean, it was first minute of the game, he won a header as well. How important do you think that was for his confidence? But he really did throw himself around as well in that first half.
I think he's been outstanding. Paul mentioned it again. He's not bad. Till at the back, he's not bad. He's experienced, like we said, trying to organise. But Mubama has been absolutely superb, holding it up. Every asset of his play has been excellent. As of Manchester City, if we're honest, they've been brilliant.
They've been outstanding.
Brilliant.
And it took 43 minutes for us to get our third goal. Nico O'Reilly, his first competitive Manchester City goal. We saw a good goal from him on tour in the US tour in the summer. Left-footed strike, but he's really impressed as well, playing in an unfamiliar role on that left-hand
he's playing out of position. We were thinking before the game, how are they going to set up? And it looks as if he's playing that sort of Guardiola role, left-hand side, pushing on. But technically he's fantastic. We've seen some wonderful goals from him in the academy over the years as well. But it's the composure he's got there as well for somebody so young. A lot of kids, when Jeremy Doku's knocked that ball back to him, they might lash at it or get a rush of blood to the head, and the touch might not be right. But he's just so composed.
First touch was great.
First touch was brilliant. First touch just set him up,
and
then
to be fair,
finish in the corner.
Nunes on the other side's done brilliant. There hasn't been every single Manchester City player has been at it, as I call it, at it on the front foot. Like you said, pace with and without the ball has been very, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Nunes has definitely been impressive as well. I wanted to touch on that, but you touched on it straight away. I mean, what have you been so impressed of? Because he's covered a lot of ground down that right-hand side as well. He got himself an assist as well. I mean, from the last performance we were talking about, the Manchester United one, like you mentioned, he came off the pitch devastated. This will do him the world of good, and he's full value being in that starting 11 today so far.
Well, he's another one. Strong, quick, handles the football. And there was once where he was just trying to get in down this side, and he put the cover on brilliantly. So he read the situation, got across. I mean, to be fair to Salford being second best, they've had a couple of opportunities, to be fair. They've kept on going. But Manchester City have been outstanding.
I think Matheus Nunes as well. I think he was probably the best player in that United game.
Yeah.
But people only remember the pass back and giving away the penalty and the mistake.
Yeah.
So, but as Peter said, I think not just going forward. I think defensively he's been really good today, as they all have been. You know, so it's very difficult. We'll pick Mubama out because it's his debut and he's got his goal. We'll pick Nico out because it's his first goal for the club. But to a man, as Peter rightly said, they've been outstanding and they've been at it, which sets the tone from the very start. Because the one thing Salford would have been talking about in the changing room is, let's try and get after them a little bit. Let's see if they might not be quite at it. Their minds not be on the ball. It's Salford in the FA Cup. And they couldn't be further from the truth.
There's little things in football as well. The way to pass from Grealish for Doku for the first, it was terrific. You know, stick that in the net. Quality. When something looks simple on a football pitch, it's absolutely outstanding. Yeah. And that pass, it's a difficult one, but got it right.
I mean, from Carl Robinson's perspective in the Salford dressing room, what would you guys be saying if you were him in this situation? Because he comes across like a man that's not going to lose his temper at this performance. I've seen clips of him on the documentary Salford do, and he does like to have that personal touch with his players as well.
He can lose his temper, don't worry about that. But, look, these players couldn't have given him anything more than what they've given him in that half. They're just up against a
what he'll say, you're playing against one of the best teams in Europe. Yeah. And by the way, young lads, and we know that, but they're trying to impress the manager, and that's why they're that good. You've just got to stick at it. Yeah. You've got to stick at it. It's great for your education, playing against a team, passing the ball that well, movement as well. Everything about them has been brilliant. So can't try and say we've had a couple of chances, get them going. You cannot have a go at a team like that, facing the opposition like Man City.
Man City have done that to Premier League teams and top Premier League times sometimes, you know, so I'm sure Carl will be pretty pleased. Ironically, the best spell they had was when we went and scored the third goal.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a couple of chances towards the end of that first half. Look, we're looking forward to the second half, of course, but I mean, we're also looking forward to EAFC because the Team of the Year nominees have landed, and Manchester City are dominating once again. There's 10 nominees.
Can you just explain to me and Peter what that is?
Okay, so EAFC is a video game, basically. And there is a Team of the Year in a video game where there's
good at that.
Nominations. I'll probably beat you, to be fair. There's nominations, and Manchester City have got 10 nominees across the men and women's sides. For the women's team, of course, we've got Bunny Shaw, Lauren Hemp, Alex Greenwood, Yui Hasegawa and Jill Roord. And for our men's team, we've got Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, Rodri, Ruben Diaz and Josko Vardiol. I mean, when you're looking at that list of players, I mean, we're so lucky to have so many top-class footballers at this club, both in the men's and the women's side. Is there anyone that potentially has missed out, would you say? I mean, we could pick quite a few players that have had a great year.
City's team? Yeah. I think in my team, I think I put every City player, not that I'm biased or anything, every City player that was nominated, I think, got in there, but we've got that many super players, you know. Even people might say Kevin's been injured for most of the year, but the impact he got in the second half of the season when he came back to push us on to win the 4 in a row to win the title again was outstanding. Regardless of how many games he's played, I would always have Kevin De Bruyne up there because he's just magnificent. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do think Kevin would be nice in the Team of the Year. He's normally always in it. I mean, I like the way that you've actually started playing EAFC because apparently what I'm being told in my ear is you've made a team for Team of the Year. So let's take a look, shall we, at Paul's team for EAFC, the Team of the Year. Oh, look at that image as well. Yeah. Looking good on the mic. Martinez in goal, Carvajal, Virgil van Dijk, Ruben Diaz, Josko Vardiol, Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, Rodri, Vinicius Jr, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden. I just had to get as many players with City connections in there as well and getting it done. So obviously Josko and Ruben got to be in there. Yeah. Danny Carvajal was unbelievable for Real Madrid. Virgil van Dijk speaks for himself. Bellingham, Rodri, Cole Palmer. It's not a bad midfield to that, Pete, is it? A pretty solid one for you there, Pete, when you look at that. Some very good players there. Well, let's take a look at... Very good. Let's take a look at my team, shall we? I mean, based on what you've said, Paul, I've done exactly the same. I've picked Manchester City associates with Jeremy Frimpong at right back because he was an ex-Manchester City player, of course. Van Dijk, Ruben Diaz, Josko, same as you.
Bellingham, Rodri and Palmer, same midfield as you. And then I put Mo Salah in and Phil Foden on the left-hand side and Erling Haaland
2 changes.
Front. So I made 2 changes, which is...
I still think mine's is better.
Which is not too bad, to be honest. I mean, but looking, I mean, the people who are watching this on MatchDay Live, you can vote for your FC Team of the Year. And if you don't vote for players who play for Manchester City or associated to Manchester City, you're doing it wrong, all right?
All joking apart, the list was ridiculous and the players that were on it. You could pick 4 or 5 different teams and it will still be top.
I mean, I think one thing's for certain, Rodri will definitely be in a Team of the Year this year because he's the Ballon d'Or winner. Unfortunately, we don't get to watch him play football. We can definitely appreciate what he's done in the last year. And a man that plays in the same position.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Funny enough, when England were playing Spain, and when he went off, I thought
I did as well.
To get at him. But the lad who come on,
Zubimendi was outstanding, wasn't he, when he came on? Yeah.
But he has been brilliant. I'll tell you what he does. People go, oh, he's not quick. But I'll tell you what, he is. But he's quick up here.
Yeah.
He reads things that are a different class. He knows where the ball's going to bounce. Great touch, great passer. But he's got everything, to be fair.
Would you say he's transformed that position? Because we look at some of the defensive midfielders we've had in England before, the Makalelis of the game, the N'Golo Kantés, players like that, even Sergio Busquets in the wider world of football. Would you say Rodri's made that position his own now?
I think that the last couple of years he's added goals and assists to it as well. And the biggest compliment I can play him, I never thought, or I thought it would have took a long, long time to replace Fernandinho in that position. Because for me, Ferno was the best. Obviously, you had your De Bruyne's, you had David Silva, you had your Yayas, you had Sergio Aguero, Sané, Sterling, all these wonderful players. Fernandinho just sat in there and put out fires left, right and centre and made the team tick, and defensively he was brilliant. I thought it would have been so hard to replace him.
A Souness type of player. You know, a player that when you see him, he uses confidence and he think that brings that to the team as well.
Rubs off on everybody else.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, you think, wow, what a player this lad is, and that's Rodri.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's also incredible what's happening on the pitch. I mean, I don't know if you guys can hear it on MatchDay Live, but there was a girl with a guitar who's singing Oasis, which is very, very good. Moving back to the Team of the Year. Josko Vardiol as well, nominated. What a year he had in a Manchester City shirt. He hit the ground running completely. We expected him probably to play at centre-half. He ended up as a left-back. He's so versatile. It's been absolutely brilliant.
I think that's been the biggest thing. You know, we're talking about taking players' time to maybe settle into a Pep system, a Pep team, but he's come in and he's played at a position, he's been outstanding.
He can get a goal.
And he's a goal threat.
Like you said, I was just going to say, I read your mind now, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I mean, how good is it seeing Pep's teams? We've just seen it with Nico playing in a deeper role today and scoring. I mean, all these players seem to be capable of scoring goals, and it's like defenders or potentially sometimes, I think it was the goal at Fulham Josko scored last season, where you just think, I'm sure you're not.
On his wrong foot.
Yeah.
And I think with Josko, people forget how young he is. You know, he potentially looks a lot older than what he is. A bit like yourself, FG, do you know what I mean? You've been compared to him as well. But he's...
It's like we were talking about the Grealish assist. Mubama's goal, the assist there, the movement, the forward runs. It's. By the way, it's so difficult to defend against when you've got people who've got the ability to pick a pass. But when you've got people making runs like that, hard to defend.
You're really proud of that one, aren't you?
I'm just waiting you coming back at me.
He just keeps laughing. I would never ever come back at two legends in the studio. As you can see there, the live images in the tunnel of the Manchester City side, who are 3 goals to 0 up. I mean, Rico's looking a bit like a manager on the right-hand side there with his jacket on. Do you expect Rico to be getting minutes? He's of course speaking to Oscar Bob. Great to see him back involved as well.
Yeah, it is. I think the Pep doesn't really make that many changes, or doesn't like to make that many changes, but it'd be nice to see a few of the lads in the bench. We've not even spoke about the bench. That must be the strongest bench in the FA Cup history, the one that's on there.
The thing, listen, we know Manchester City went through a bad spell. Do you know what I'm saying now? They've come out of it. They've come out of it, and you're looking at body language, and all the body language of them players, even the lads on the bench, is terrific. Yeah. And the manager as well, terrific.
Well, yeah, the players are in the tunnel, and we're nearly ready to head back. How do you see the second half going, Paul? How many more goals?
I think very similar, really. 3 at half time. It could have been 4 or 5. You just, for Carl and Salford's point of view, on a personal note, knowing you don't want to get absolutely battered, but if they're not careful, it could turn into a real riot.
Well, the players are heading out, so we're going to head out and we're going to head back to our commentary team for the second half. We will see you at the end of the game.